Hi, this is a 2012 Fiat 500, and today I'm going to show you how to change the front brakes, the pads and rotors. We will work on this car. I will show you how to do them as easy as possible. The same process would be probably for the 2013, 14 and 15 models as well. But this one is a 2012 Fiat 500, and this is a North American model for US and Canada, so just watch it, folks. Okay, so I have taken the wheel off, and as you can see, make sure that you put a jack stand for safety. That, I would say, it's a must. So here's what it looks like, and we have to take these are rotor retainer screws. You need 12 number 12 wrench or socket for that, and then here I'm going to take this cap off from here, and inside I will be using a hex key. That is the hex key I'll be using. This is number 7, which goes in here, and that is how we remove the caliper. And then if you see here, that's a 19 bolt. We have to take that to take the bracket off for the caliper. And then in the front, if you see, there is this a little this is again a little bracket to hold and push the pad back into its place. So we're going to work around this, and I'll be showing you as we work through. Okay, so I'm going to take this cap off. That is one of the caps. So you can see that's been taken off. So I'm keeping it here. The other cap is right here. I am going to take that off as well. So this takes the two this is 7mm hex socket, so I'm going to take this off. Okay, so I'm going to take those pins out. These are your caliper pins on this Fiat. Okay, so this is what they look like. I'm taking the other one out now, so this will be the second one. So this is the now the second one is out as well. So we'll put it here, and now I want to show you. See the condition of the rotor. It is all rusted, and it's in a bad shape. So I'm just gonna take that off. Now we will, at this point, I'm gonna loosen this up as well a little bit, but not taking it off. This is number 12. This is the 12mm. Okay, no, I was just going the opposite way, sorry. So here it is. I'm not taking them completely off, but just loosen up a little bit. That's it. So now we have to remove this this brace here, and we gotta figure out coming out. Here we go. So it's out, and I'm gonna take the other side out as well. This is a retainer for your. Okay, that's good enough. So I have to now take the calipers are coming off now, off of the brakes. There we go. So the caliper is off. I just want to show you one of the pads, which is in the front, is flat. The other one we have to pull out, and when you pull out, you will see there's a clamp on the back of it. So I will go back into the piston here. Okay, we leave this for the moment and take the bracket off now. That is my next process in this. So now I'm going to remove the bracket. I need the 19mm socket here, and I just made a little you can see like a little lever, so more force can be put on, because these are like screws are really tight. Bolts are really tight. Oh, here we go. So it's loose now. Do the same thing for the top one. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. So I've taken one out, and this is the second one. Taking it out. So here's your 19mm bolt, the second one, and here's your caliper bracket. So this is off. Now I'm going to take these two rotor retaining screws out. And as you can see, now I can easily take the rotor off. Okay, so that is done. So I've taken it off. I'm going to clean the caliper bracket. So when we put the new brake pads in, it slides easy. So some rust and all that is gone. So you can see I'm just cleaning all the rust. So it's now clean, but I'll still clean it a little bit more with a brake cleaner. So I will just spray that, clean the whole thing. So it's going to take the previous grease off, so we can put fresh grease in it, plus it looks nice. Alright, so here is our new brake pads and rotors. So these are the new pads, and this is our new rotor, nice and clean. And you can see it's I'm using a premium quality rotor with painted head. But before we put this rotor on, we have to, because they put some grease in the factory, so I have to clean that so there's no grease on them. So just the surface, you clean the surface with your brake cleaner, let it dry a bit, and then we're gonna put it on. So we'll leave it here. Before we do that, you watch this way here. I gotta put some white lithium grease on it. So it does not form any rust or anything like that on the hub. This is just white lithium grease. So next time when we take it off, it will be easy. It won't be stuck onto the hub. Will prevent rust and easy taking off. Okay, so that's on it. Now I'm going to put this rotor on. Just gonna match the holes where I would be putting my retainer bolt. Okay, so I'm holding it here. Okay, I have to put some anti-seize on these clips. I'm just putting some anti-seize on these retaining bolts or screws, whatever you're gonna call. So next time when anybody takes them off, it won't be rusted in. So that was the first one, and sorry, here's the other one. Just coat it enough that it does not seize next time. This goes here. And I'm gonna tighten it up. Just hand tighten enough so you don't have to really put force, because here once we put the wheels back, it's gonna hold it together with the wheel. These are your Fiat wheel nuts, so it's gonna hold them, so there's no problem with that. We will do a quick cleanup on the caliper as well. So put some spray in here where the caliper pin goes, and just clean this a bit. So this is clean. I'm just gonna clean these this rubber thing a little bit, so when we put new grease in, it's gonna be all clean inside. So I'm just using, so here we go, it's all clean, nice and clean. All right, show you this piston comes out with the usage. When the brake pads go low, this piston keeps coming out. We have to push it back, so I'm just using one of the old brake pads and a C-clamp to push it back in, so we can have enough room for the new pads. So if you can see, it slowly goes back in. Keep putting slow pressure on it. You might see some brake oil coming out of your reservoir in your engine as well, because it pushes back the oil. It's going back slow and easy, and if it doesn't go back, that tells you that you need a new caliper. So it's a relatively newer car, so it was no problem. So as you can see, the piston is all the way back in, and now we will put new pad, which is this one here. So I'm going to push it back in. It just goes nice and easy. It should. Watch your fingers. There we go. So this is in. So that's one pad is in. Now I'll show you the other one. Okay, here's the next step. I'm actually using a brake lubricant grease. It's synthetic, and I'm just gonna put enough on the caliper bracket where the brake pads are gonna be running. So you have to go smoothly in here. Don't put too much because we don't need too much of it. Just enough so the pads can slide easily on both sides here. This is a must, don't forget, because otherwise your pads will be stuck in it. They will not be gliding easy. Okay, so this is done. Alright. We have to put some caliper grease on the pads as well, a little bit, so where they slide onto the brackets. Don't put too much because they can get onto the pads as well. So this is the other pad. So now I'm putting the caliper bracket back on. I should use the top one first, I guess. So the caliper bracket is now tightening, and there we go, it's tight enough. I'm going to put the same force back again, so we need this to be tight enough. Good. Okay, that's done. Second bolt. Okay, so this is tight. So I'm putting the brake pads back on. And here we go, this is the second one, so you can see it is secured properly. So I have to, on the bottom here, if you can just come from here, I gotta move this bracket out, so sorry, this retainer clip onto the front, because that is the one which goes here in the front, and this goes on top here like that, and here we go. So that's now holding the caliper in its place. I would just like to hammer that a little bit back in. Here's the last step now. We have to put the caliper pins back in. We gotta clean those first because they are like with old grease. I'm gonna just take it off with the paper towel, clean it, and then I'm gonna spray some brake cleaner on it so I can take that completely off. So this is now pretty clean. This is just some rust on it. So I'll put this brake grease back on this caliper pin. Just make sure you cover that completely. Because this is your gliding part as well. So here it goes from here back in. Keep moving it and just tighten it up slowly. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing for the second one, and then I'll show you the rest in a second. So here's the second caliper pin, just coating it with grease. So it goes in on the bottom here. Okay, you don't really have to put a lot of force on it. Once it's tight enough, that's good enough. Okay, we're almost done here. Here we go. So put the caps back on. Second cap goes on. Folks, our brake job is done. It's complete. I just gotta put the wheel back on. Make sure you pump the pedal so the your pads can hold the rotor properly. Couple of pumps and you will see the pump comes back to the full power, and we're done. Thank you so much for watching. This was for Fiat 500 2012, the North American model. I hope you enjoyed it, and it's easy. Half an hour, you're done. Thank you so much for watching me, and keep tuned. I'm gonna do the same in my next episode for the rear brakes for the same car as well. Thank you.